There was like roaring, thundering claps. I got yelled at a lot after that by the teachers.
Yeah.
Pimp. I don't know. There's this word in Hindi. It's called Dalla.
Yeah.
ये Dallapan है, bro.
Yeah.
ये literally Dallapan है because the counselors people hire आजकल, they're 45-year-olds. They don't actually know too much. You ask them a question, they'll Google it and then
Yeah.
answer. I made the whole
Yeah.
thing.
I love that.
As my maths teacher used to tell me, बेटा पढ़
पढ़ लो,
लो.
ये मत करो, इस सब में कुछ नहीं रखा है.
Yes, absolutely. He used to say that.
Hello Yash. Hello Yash.
Hi Krishna. How are you?
So today we are here with Yash, a Tata scholar and who got into Cornell University, class of 2027. So Yash, who are you?
Hi everyone, my name is Yash. As Krishna said, I'm someone who's going to Cornell as a Tata scholar. I'm on a full scholarship for this year. I'll be studying applied economics and management, and honestly, I'm super grateful for this opportunity, and I want to give back now by sharing my tips, advice, experiences with all of you here and just giving back, right? Because it's videos like these, it's the internet that helped me get in. I never had a counselor. I could never afford a counselor because they were too expensive. So I would love to share what I have with all of you and help all of you with their applications as well.
Yeah, amazing. And I think you are the inspiration for thousands of students because they are dreaming like to get into Cornell and top universities, but they are just thinking that okay, I have to hire a counselor. I can't afford like costly coaching, so-called coachings. So like that. And I have a first question. How did you manage to take 8 AP exams in a year? Please share. How do you do it?
Arey yaar. So
Yeah.
this was 2021 and it was 10th grade. So I had just taken the SAT. It was I think mid 10th grade. And I really wanted to give AP exams, but 9th mein main de nahi paya because I didn't know about AP exams back in the 9th grade. So I said, okay, let's see what it's like. So I picked every subject that I liked. I picked pretty much everyone that I could, and I gave all the exams that I could. And I did pretty well on most of them as well because of that. So yeah, it was honestly just I prepped for like 2 months because I also had my IGCSE board exams. So my board exams were in March, my APs were in May. So I only really had 2 months to prepare.
Okay, so let's start the story. We start from first, second grade. Yeah, IB school. So can we start from 8th grade? Not 8th grade, 2008. Yeah.
Fair. And I'd say when my journey really begins is 6th grade, which is 2016. Okay. 2016, I joined my school's MUN club.
Okay.
And wahan pe, it was this club of 70-80 people, and I felt so alienated because it was full of like, big students. They were physically big and they were like shouting. And I felt so alienated and so alone over there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come and conquer this club sometime. Okay? And that's how my journey really started. So I think I kind of made it a mission to start leading that club over time. And that's so slowly. And I'll tell you what, by 8th grade, 2 years later, I was leading that club.
Okay, interesting. That was fantastic.
Exactly. So that's I'd say my entire journey is just a journey of growth and of commitment. So I committed that okay, I'm gonna lead this club, and I made it happen. I committed to a lot of things. I committed to, let's say, I want to do something to help COVID patients.
Yeah.
I think 2 years back, and I made it happen. I went to a vaccination center locally, and I volunteered there for 2 months. I was a COVID-19 vaccinator, right? So I committed that okay, I'm going to write a research paper. 6 months, I wrote a research paper. I said I'm going to write a book. I wrote a book. So I'd say my entire journey is just made up of small commitments. Of okay, I will do this, and then I go ahead and do it. And very similarly, it's also little moments. For example, 6th May, there was this Coca-Cola representative that once came to our school. Okay? Now he's from the Coke company and he's trying to sell his product, and he's giving a presentation on sustainability. And it's like a big auditorium, 500 students, 600 students. The entire school is there. And he's talking about sustainability and how Coca-Cola is helping be more sustainable. And everyone's just sitting and listening. And I'm a sixth grader and I'm like, yeah, something about this isn't right. So I put up my hand
Yeah. Okay.
and I deliver a 1 minute speech
Okay.
and he's done. I yell at him.
Okay.
I'm like, Coke produces a million plastic bottles a year. How can you talk about sustainability when you actively fund, you know, essay? It was
Yeah.
crazy. And I gave a whole 1 minute speech and I said, how do you even justify being here today?
Yeah. Okay.
वो अंदर चुप हो गया and there was like roaring, thundering claps.
Okay. Interesting. Like
He
it
just
requires like tons of courage. You can say that. Like being a sixth grader.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah.
Sixth grader doing this. Amazing. Amazing. And
I had no fear. I had no fear.
okay.
And everyone was clapping and it was wonderful. I got yelled at a lot after that by the teachers.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
but, but it's still one of my big moments that really told me who I am,
Yeah.
right? Because my way of standing out in a crowd is with my lack of fear and my wits. So the fact that I have this ability essentially to analyze things and to call out white as white and black as black, that's really what helps me stand out in a crowd. And so I've never let that go. So that's when I discovered that shit, I have this one talent. This I'm gonna use. That's how I got into MUN, that's how I got into debate. And in fact, debate I got into really quickly. Debate I got into 10th grade ke end, mid May. And about somewhere around April 2020. And then I did better and better and better. And now I'm on Team India for international debates.
Okay. Interesting.
So we represented India at Harvard, we did it at Cambridge, no, Oxbridge tha. We did it at Oxford, we did it at what more? That was I think Paris as well, Prague. So that's how that's how I really I guess said, okay, this is my forte.
Yeah.
If there's something I want to do, I'll do it. There's not much that I'm scared of. And I do things that other people essentially are too scared to.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing, Yash. And Yash, what about National Economics Olympiad?
Alright, yeah, I realized somewhere around the application season that I need to do Olympiads,
Okay.
and I couldn't find any
Yeah.
Olympiads. So I just kind of Googled Economics Olympiad, and this one came up, SRCC ka. I said, okay, I will do this. So no preparation, nothing at all, just registered, opened the link up on the day of the Olympiad,
Yeah.
gave it blind, and I became a finalist.
Okay,
So
amazing. Like it's totally like you can say that amazing thing. And what about like I just want your honest suggestion or honest review. Is it important or like you can say that mandatory to hire any paid counselor, hire any coaching or like that? Because it's a biggest myth.
yeah, it's not compulsory. You don't have
Exactly.
to. You don't need one to get in. But I also won't lie. I won't say that they don't help.
Yeah.
Look, because there's these people, right? They'll pay 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs per annum for a counselor. And it's very common here. At least in Delhi, some of the good ones go up to 12 lakhs.
Yeah, yeah. I also know 20 lakhs. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question then is, you're paying that much money for a college counselor, right? What other things can you spend on? Because there's rich people taking these services. They probably also can hire an SAT tutor.
Yeah.
Their parents are probably very influential. They can get fake internships. They can get anything they want. They probably go to a very, very good school already. So it's all a correlation, right? So, and these counselors, they'll help you, they'll practically write your essays for
Yeah.
you. They'll practically write your entire activity section for you. You go to them when you're in 9th grade and they'll help you throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, until you get into college. There's now counseling companies like, I met one in Hyderabad when I was there I was chairing Harvard's MUN conference last
Okay.
year. And so I met this counselor in Hyderabad. and he said, yeah, they get their kids, they help them write research
Yeah.
papers. They have already partnered up with publishing
Yeah.
houses to publish their research
Yeah.
papers, to publish the बच्चों की books, and to literally they have partnered up with companies to get the kids internships.
Yeah.
मतलब you imagine what the world has become, right?
Exactly.
You're paying a company, ठीक है, कि ठीक है, I'll write some research paper because ये बकवास है, मुझे पता है और कहीं नहीं छपने वाला, तुम लोग पार्टनर अप करो, तुम लोग छपवा दो.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's less of a consulting business, it's less of a college consulting business and more of a pimp. I don't know, there's this word in Hindi, it's called dalla.
Yeah. Yeah.
ये दल्लापन है bro.
Yeah.
ये literally दल्लापन है, because that's what you're doing. You're literally connecting two people
Yeah.
for a service and for multiple services. So it's less of a consulting firm and more of a, matlab, it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
The fact that you've taken this entire process and you've boiled it down into, okay, give us 12 lakhs and we'll get it all done for you.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah.
So because yeah, it's just wrong
Yeah.
to me. So you don't need to answer your question. I'm really sorry, I kind of went away
No,
from your
no, yeah.
question. To answer
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
to answer your question, I guess you don't need a counselor. They really do help, but there is a certain joy in doing things, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's your journey. Like it's your journey, and if you are hiring counselors, yeah, it depends on you. But end of the day, if you are asking, like any student asking for suggestion, even if he or she is a, you can say that billionaire or millionaire. So yeah, you can hire counselor. But if you are from India, middle class family, I never suggest any paid counselors, paid services, because everything
Yeah,
available,
देखो,
everything is available.
there's two things.
Yeah.
Here. For if you're in India and if you genuinely think hiring a counselor will have a significant burden in your family, I guess don't do it. There's these things, right? Counselor hai, summer programs hai, 8 lakh rupee summer programs. Don't do that. I mean, if it's genuinely gonna have a burden in your family, if you think you can comfortably go ahead, do it, go ahead. Don't take a full-blown counselor. I'll tell you what, not all counselors are bad. For example, I guess even I've helped students, yeah. Even I've counseled students, and sometimes, so my mode of counseling is I take sessions, 1 hour sessions, and I tell them, pay whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pay 500, sometimes they don't pay. Sometimes they pay 3,000. Pay whatever you want to. And I will help them to the best of my abilities, regardless of what they pay me. And I continue to help them. I know kids from so many schools in India that I've helped. Jashri Pariwal, even I think my own school I've helped a few kids. And I do a full session. Like this is a sample sheet. I prepare entire sheets. I help them plan their next few months. Every single week I help them plan. I help them figure out what their fortes are. The problem is a lot of these kids don't even know what they're good at.
Yeah.
Matlab, they're telling me their best extracurriculars. And they don't mention the fact that they've done Trinity. They don't mention the fact that they've climbed Mount Everest.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? They don't mention the fact that they do puja every day.
Yeah.
Praying every day is one of the best activities that you could put on your application.
Exactly.
And people don't recognize it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that perspective is what counselors can offer. And so counselors aren't bad. They can help you a lot with perspective and with guidance. But the problem is, get someone who has been through it, right? The counselors people hire aajkal, they're 45-year-olds, 40-year-olds who are just
those are like you can say that good in communication skills. They know only communication skills. They don't know like whole application process sometimes.
Precisely, they don't actually know too much. You ask them a question, they'll Google it and then answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask someone who has been through the process recently. I'll tell you, in 5 years, don't come to me, because in 5 years the process will have changed.
Exactly.
In 5 years, go to someone else who has graduated.
Yeah, exactly.
Come to me right now, because I know the cycle. I just came through it, so that's how I can help you. But don't go to a paid 40-year-old counselor.
Yeah, exactly. Like every day I connected with new students, and they have the same kind of thing. When I am asking, okay, so tell me about your extracurricular, so they say zero. I don't have any extracurricular. Then I explain what is the extracurricular. Extracurricular means any activity, anything. So they start exploring about their profile. So it's a common mistake, common problem. And
The easiest question to ask is, yaar, what are you most proud
Yeah,
of? Or what were you doing before we had this call? Okay, you were doing, let's say, this. What is that about? Oh, it's this MUN. Acha. Okay, tell me more about
yeah,
MUN. So you have to really start. It's like a therapy session
exactly.
sometimes. You know how therapists try to go into your deep
Yeah.
issues? That's how you have to go about it.
Exactly, exactly. I'm totally agree with that. And I think if we are talking about so-called big counselors or companies, so they have counselors, but they're like one counselor is handling 300, 400 students sometimes, and they are not doing anything. They are just saying that okay, do some internship or like do some Olympiads. So that's the like main stuff. So it's a
Precisely, yeah. There's that sense of personal touch with the youth.
exactly. Exactly. And what about like your future plans? Any future plans for Cornell?
Yeah, honestly, the one thing, so there's two sides of it, right? One side is like, yeah, GA zara, have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
But the other side is like, the grind never
Okay.
stops.
Okay.
Honestly, for this semester, I'm taking the maximum classes I can, the maximum credits I
Yeah.
can. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Okay, we will get it done. Um, hmm. I feel like I really want to branch out, have a lot of fun, but and I want to figure out what I'm trying to do because I want to do some consulting. I also want to go into interglobal organizations. Maybe I want to do investment banking. I really have no idea.
Oh,
So I guess this is where I am supposed to find out. And so I'm looking forward to finding out all of these
yeah.
things, what I actually want to do. And I also want to continue helping people back home. That's my main thing though.
Yeah.
I want to keep in touch with my juniors from people from other schools, and I want to stay. I want to stay in this counseling wala scene because I love helping people, and I feel like it's only fair if I pay it forward,
Yeah.
right? Because I was a child of the internet, and I really want to pay it forward to people who have only ever had the intent for support, right? I grew up watching videos on YouTube. I think there's a few people. There's the college decision videos. That guy Shaurya Sinha, if
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
him.
Exactly.
Yeah, people like him. So we've grown up seeing that, and I just really want to pay it forward. But I also want to have a fun time at Cornell, I guess. I don't know. It's
Journey.
just
Yeah. I think it's a journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
In about a month exactly, my world will turn upside down,
Okay.
right? And I've counted the days. I have exactly 1 week, one free weekend left before I leave.
Oh my God. Okay.
Right? So it's thrilling. It's also nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm tying up my entire life in two
Yeah.
suitcases.
And starting new journey in Cornell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just a journey, and I think you are starting your new journey. So all the best and congratulations for your new journey. And like it's not
Thank
true that you are if you are from like economics Olympiad, so you must have to do something for related to economics. It's a journey. You can do anything. And you also mentioned like research. So can you explain about your research?
Yeah, of course. So I about 10th, 11th के start में 10th के end में somewhere there, I had this argument with my teacher in economics class. It was about government spending, right? She said government spending will always will cause inflation, and I was like, that doesn't make sense because governments can spend money in ways that are also efficient.
Yeah.
I said, यार ये क्या बकवास है? So I argued that government spending does not cause inflation.
Yeah.
That it's impossible for just government spending to cause inflation. I said there have to be other things that cause it. It's just that they happen at the same time as government spending.
Exactly.
ये हो ही नहीं सकता. It theoretically does make sense. It was a very stupid argument. It made a lot of sense. At the time, I thought it didn't make
Okay.
sense. अब होश होश में I was like, मैं तो लड़ूंगा भाई.
Okay.
And one of my friends is like, no, Yash, you can't do it. You're just stupid. It's not possible. And then I had an ego trip.
Okay.
I said, okay, now we will do
Okay.
this.
Yes.
So I made a whole theory. Okay. Then I remember it was like in A4 sheet. I wrote the whole theory. I made arrows, essay, essay, essay. Then I typed up a paper. It took me 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I typed the whole thing up. Then I actually made a PDF and I showed it to my teacher. Oh, bolu.
Okay.
Now tell. What are you gonna
Yeah.
say, huh? Then I got it published as well. The publishing process took so long. Now that I look back at it, it was a lot of fun, but it was also really stupid of me to publish that.
Okay.
It was a very unpolished paper and it wasn't expert in any level. But I feel like it was still nice. It's a completely theoretical approach. It's not very practical, but I guess it makes sense technically.
Okay.
So as for the paper itself, yes, the paper did help for my applications, but I didn't write the paper just for the application.
Okay.
For example, if you read the title of the paper, Government Spending Does Not Cause Inflation, it's a very, matlab, for someone who studied economics, he'll be like, huh? What is that?
Yeah. Shocking.
It's a very naive, I guess, approach, but it seemed to work out for me. I did it because I genuinely enjoyed the whole process. But to anyone else who is in high school right now, I wouldn't recommend doing research for the sake of doing research.
Okay.
I've seen so many people, including those at Cornell with me,
Okay.
and including those who didn't get in anywhere.
Okay.
It's just a common theme everyone's doing. It's like starting an NGO. If you will write a research paper.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
2 years ago, it was starting an NGO that became a fad. Now it's doing a research paper. 2 years later, it will be writing a book.
Okay.
I'm telling you, these three
And I think
things.
you also write a book named Fairy, I think. So, what?
I
Yeah. So, what about that book?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll wrap up my previous thing. It's like, yeah, don't chase things because it's a
Yeah.
checklist. Do things if you want to do them. If you don't want to do them, don't do them. But stop chasing writing a research paper, doing an internship, writing a book, doing an
Yeah.
NGO. If you chase things like that, if it's a checklist like that, it really will not work
Yeah. It's
out.
a basic concept, like basic thing. Like most of the students are just trying to complete the checklist. So, don't do to complete check.
Genuinely confused as to what to do, come sit down, let's talk for an hour, let's figure it
Yeah.
out. But don't just start randomly
Yeah,
doing
just
things.
completing, like they just research on some students who got into MIT or top universities, and they just like make a list of their achievements, their extracurriculars, and they just pen and paper and just trying to complete the checklist. So I think it's totally not make sense.
Like, man, I have done that too. Guilty as
Yeah.
charged. I have seen hundreds of those how I got into
Yeah,
Flash
exactly. Yeah.
videos. But yeah, I looked at them and I said, okay, this isn't gonna work out for me.
Okay, like they're the other person, it's not me. It's yeah.
Exactly. Because I can do better now. Because when people look at it, they say, okay, this is a limiting factor. I can write a paper, do this, do this, do this, do this, and I'm good. Nay, that's not how it is. If you have an opportunity in front of you, like I saw the COVID thing and I said, okay, I will do this. That was my top extracurricular. I said, okay, I can start an organization for plasma
Yeah,
donations. That was my top extracurricular. So things like that, now I can do Team India debate. That was my top
exactly.
extracurricular. But if you look at the profiles of people who have gotten in, you won't see debate kids on there from India.
Exactly.
So that's the thing. I mean, just because it's not on the list doesn't mean you can't do it. Now, about the book,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Ferry.
that's true. I do have a book. It's in my almirah.
Yeah, yeah, you can
Um,
pick that book. I want to see that book.
Give me a second. I'll get it.
Yeah. So after that, we will ask some other questions about TOEFL, IELTS, okay, or SAT scores. So first,
Cool, cool, cool.
okay.
This is my book. It's called Fairy.
Yeah, beautiful. Like you created the whole picture. I thought, like,
Yeah, yeah, no, I made the whole thing.
yeah, I love that.
It's got a lot of meaning behind it. I'll tell you someday. But this is my book. It's called Fairy.
Yeah.
It's a series of 20 poems that all, I mean, it's a story of heartbreak essentially.
Okay. Yeah, after
It's really nice.
after this interview, I will definitely like read the whole book, and I will put the link in the description. And I'm suggesting to read this book. Okay, so it's great.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. So this book I wrote last year after a lot of heartbreak.
Okay.
But the funny part is, it's not about a girl.
Okay.
It's not about. It's about my school.
Okay.
So it's about how I gave all of my time and effort and my entire heart out to my school.
Okay.
I did all that I could, and they never gave it back
Oh.
because I wasn't a donor. I was. My parents weren't special or like chummy with the principal.
Yeah.
My parents weren't on the PTA or on the parent teacher organization, right? I wasn't the favorite child of the principal, so I didn't get the opportunities. And so this is what this book is really about. It's about, loving someone who never loves you back.
Exactly.
Or essentially, the quote is, "Those you love will always take you for granted."
Okay.
So that's what the cover means. And in fact, I'll show you. So
Yeah.
this is my school. This shirt is my school uniform
Yeah.
shirt.
Bandage.
Okay.
Yeah.
This lanyard is my school ka
Yeah.
card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And now you'll see everything in this picture is black and white except for the flower, the butterfly, and these
Yeah.
coverings. Because the picture is that my school is a concrete garden with no color at all and with no nature at all, and yet still flowers bloom
Okay.
in a garden of
Okay.
concrete. Flowers bloom and butterflies flutter.
Okay. Totally makes sense. It's a deep meaning. Yeah.
Yeah, and these band-aids are basically, this is a band-aid on top of my MUN president badge,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Because it still hurts,
Yeah. Okay.
and so it's a band-aid. This is just black tape on top of my student council badge. It's just black tape and then a whitener, say I've written part one.
Okay.
Because of how much I try to ignore that part. It's complete denial.
Okay.
And then this, it's just brown tape on top of the school emblem, the school badge.
Okay.
And I've written my own name to say that the shirt that I wear used to represent Scottish Eye, but the shirt that I wear now, whatever outer appearance I have
Yeah.
anymore, it's all me now. It's not Scottish Eye anymore. Because previously, whenever I would go somewhere, it would all be okay. Scottish High is my name. I am Scottish, right? This is my school. But now I've realized that it's really not. It's just me.
Yeah.
I'm Yash Moitra.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So embracing identity is what this book is all about.
I love that. I love that, and I will definitely read the whole book. Previously, like I checked that book on Amazon, and I already read like most of the descriptions and etc. But that kind of deep meaning I didn't know. So yeah, thank you for sharing. And what about your SAT part? I think you prepared in just 2 months. Yeah. So
Yes, yes, yes. For the SAT. Again, now keep in mind, I never had a tuition
yeah.
teacher. I never had a counselor. I never had anyone to help me with this. It was all Khan Academy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
internet.
Always. I'm always
Okay.
suggesting Khan Academy.
Khan Academy is
Best.
wonderful for the
Yeah.
SAT. Even for most of my AP exams, they were
Yeah.
really helpful.
Exactly.
So, okay, SAT. It was December 2020 that I gave the SAT. I signed up in October and I said, okay, let's
Try.
try.
Okay.
Let's have some fun. This is funny now because December 2020 is when I had my pre-boards for 10th grade.
Okay.
Now, imagine this. There's a 10th grader sitting. I'm 15 years old
Yeah.
and I'm going to give the SAT.
Okay.
15 years of
Okay.
age.
Interesting.
I studied for 2 months and my mom had COVID right before my
So
SAT.
sad. Yeah.
So, like, her quarantine was end right before my SAT started. So, I was taking care of her as well, right? Because, so it was, and then I went into the center, no hopes at all. And I come out, I'm like, okay, sure, that was okay. Wasn't too bad, but it is what it is. Okay, wait 2 weeks. 1540. Wait.
It's a, you can say that great score. Yeah. Dream score.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Okay.
Okay, interesting. Like most of the, yeah, I know some students who are preparing for like 1 year or 2 year, and still they are scoring 1300, maximum 1400 after 1 or 2 years of preparation. And even they are like enrolled in some coaching classes or paid courses. So yeah,
Yeah, those won't help. Nothing can. It's a mindset thing.
yeah, exactly.
It's a mindset thing.
Yeah,
But the SAT is just an exam after all, and some people just valid exams.
yeah, exactly.
So you can, that's okay. SAT nahi ho raha, that's okay. Go try the ACT, or if you can't do that, apply test optional.
Yeah,
These are There are
yes,
so many options today that didn't exist 4 years ago, right? The entire landscape of college applications is so much more inclusive, right? So take advantage of that. If it's the SAT or anything else for that matter, you can always explain to the admissions office why you couldn't do it.
okay, exactly. Yeah, there are too many options, and you can also retake SAT if you are thinking that okay, I will improve, then retake SAT. Yeah,
Okay, I have a friend, he's the class topper. He used to be the class topper in my class. Like I was also a topper, but I mean after a point I guess he overtook me because I focused more on extracurriculars
yeah,
after a point because I was getting the grades I needed.
okay,
And I wasn't topping. So this guy, he's the class topper, okay, and all he does is study. That's it. He studies 8 hours a day. Now this guy is a genius. He's a proper genius. He's really smart. And he gave the SAT, got a 1300. Gave it six
oh my,
times. Hasn't crossed 1400 to this day.
okay. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
He, that's why I'm saying, right? Some people are just bad at that one exam.
Exactly.
Now, now he's going where? I think he got waitlisted at Georgia Tech. Yeah. And it's not like he had financial aid issues as well. He was a full income, full rich kid, but
Yeah,
it just wasn't for him.
yeah, full like you can say that golden or silver spoon. Yeah,
Silver spoon, properly. He had a counselor too. I don't know what happened to him.
yeah, exactly. And what about IELTS? IELTS preparation. How much time it takes to prepare for IELTS for you?
Okay, honest advice, don't give the IELTS, give the
Yeah,
TOEFL.
exactly. I'm also after that. I will suggest. Yeah,
Okay, a lot of people give the IELTS, but the problem is now TOEFL pe, it's very easy to cross
yeah,
110.
yeah.
Okay,
But
after 110, it's really nice, right? It's a little difficult to get there, but I mean, if you give it without preparation, you will easily cross 100. Study a little, you will easily cross 110. Okay? And the thing is, with the IELTS, it's the same story, except IELTS mein, it gets easy until 7.5 and then it gets hard. Getting an 8 is difficult, and 8.5 is really difficult, and a 9 is impossible.
yeah, yeah,
Right? But the difference is the way you see the scales, right? Look, compare 112 on the TOEFL and an 8 on the IELTS.
yeah,
So, and plus, the easy part is TOEFL is almost completely multiple
yeah,
choice for reading and for listening, whereas the IELTS is still free form there.
yeah.
And so it's just, I guess the TOEFL is also much quicker, so that
Yeah,
helps.
TOEFL, but I think the rating section is little bit, you can say that difficult compared to IELTS. So IELTS, like for Indian students, IELTS is best. I think best option.
I didn't find it. I just think go and take, you know what? We're in the age of the internet. Go on the internet, take a practice test for IELTS and for
Yeah,
TOEFL. See what you do better in, go take the exam. Same advice for SAT, ACT. Go on the internet, take one ACT practice test, one SAT practice test, see what you're good at, go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. Because everyone have different character, different skills. So yeah, it depends. Yeah,
Precisely.
yeah,
Precisely.
precise. Okay, and like most of the things you covered, but what about like your, you can say that high school grades? How did you manage everything?
Now this is the backbone of all college applications. As my maths teacher used to tell me, beta पढ़
पढ़
लो.
लो, ये मत करो, इस सब में कुछ नहीं रखा है ऐसा.
So okay, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. He used to say that. The thing is, high school grades are important,
yeah, most
yes,
important.
but only to a certain extent. You need to get A's throughout your entire high school, right? If you're applying to the US, what does an A mean? An A means get above, if you're an Indian curriculum student, get above 90% in every subject in every year. If you're an IB student, it means just get a 6 or above. If you're an IGCSE student, that means just get an A or above. Okay? The point is, try not to have more than one or two B's max throughout your high school. It's not that hard, and A is okay to maintain. Even I don't know if I did ICSE for a year, but if you genuinely put in the effort, just cross that 90% mark. After that, it's all the same, right? You don't need to be a topper. You don't need to be a CBSE topper, ICSE topper. You don't need to have your face in a newspaper.
Yeah,
As long as you're good, like really good, that's all they want. Because they're really just seeing, are you academically qualified?
yeah,
Because then it's just a threshold. It's just a threshold.
yeah, exactly.
So if you're applying to the Ivies, have one or two Bs max. If you're applying to, let's say, the UC Berkeley, actually four Bs or five Bs is okay, or even six is okay if you have. I mean, if you have really good extracurriculars over time, and if you're improving. If you're applying to, let's say, lower ranked universities, so changes like that. But it's really just stay on your toes, do the best you can. And even if you did really badly in ninth and 10th, or in ninth, for example, it's okay, you have time to improve. You can show an upward trend and you can explain that you had a problem in this year, and that's what happens.
Yeah, and like what about parents? Like I know many parents, they have a simple concept like 12th grade or 11th grade or high school is the first priority. Don't focus or anything. After 12th grade, you can like take SAT, then prepare for college application. And even I know some students like who have potential or even they are scoring good in SAT, 1500 and 1400 in their test, but their parents are not agree. They are saying that first focus on your boards, then start your other stuff. So that's the main problem, I think. Most.
Yeah, I'd say explaining to the parents that you want to apply abroad should start at a really early
Yeah,
stage,
they are starting in 12th
because
grade.
they
Yeah. So
they need time to adapt,
yeah,
right, to the fact that our kid is leaving.
yeah,
And I'll tell you, very to anyone who's watching this, honestly, people are so quick to demonize their parents ki they're not doing
yeah,
this. Try to understand it from their point of view.
exactly.
Maybe what they're saying is that you shouldn't waste your time during your board exams. What they mean is that they're really just scared of the fact that you might actually go.
Exactly.
I tell you what, and I've spoken with parents. Like when I speak to kids, I'll speak to their parents sometimes. And these parents, they're just so scared of their kid
Yeah,
leaving.
exactly.
For them, it's like their whole life they've been comfortable with the fact our kid will study here, he will go to DU,
Yeah,
he will get a good job here, and he will live with us until he gets a new house, and it'll be
yeah,
amazing. And then suddenly your kid turns 18 or 17 and he's saying, Mom, Dad, I am leaving forever. Goodbye.
goodbye. Yeah,
For someone who has raised you for 18 years, that has to feel like a heart attack.
exactly.
And so their instant reaction, their survival instinct is चुप हो जाओ कहीं नहीं जा रहे चुपचाप के बैठो.
Yeah, it's a,
यार for them it's like that, right? They're so scared of that. So in all fairness, it's okay if they say
yeah,
that,
exactly.
because that's they don't understand. It's their first reaction. So it's very important to ease it in from an early point, very early
Yeah,
point.
and
Start as early as you
yeah,
can and be honest about that conversation. Ask them, what is it that they're scared of? Ask them, why board exams? Why are board exams important? You tell me today, Krishna. Why are board exams important?
yeah, like for Indian students,
Why? Why?
yeah, for Indian students, like for getting into some normal universities or showing their
Which
relative.
university? Which university looks for board exams? Name
Yeah, like
one.
Delhi University, past years like stuff, but now you can say that the main thing is for parents, I think relatives, they have to show that.
I will tell you this today, there is not one university that looks at board exam
Yeah,
results.
now.
Not one good university.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay? Ashoka doesn't care.
Yeah.
Jindal doesn't
No
care.
one.
No central universities
Yeah.
care. No private universities
Yeah.
care.
I
Okay?
think there is a one use. I
No,
think one use which is if you don't have a birth certificate, so you can use marksheet as a birth certificate. That's the only one you can say that you really.
precisely. The only place I can imagine board exams being useful is sometimes they have requirements in the UK and
Yeah.
Canada that you have a cutoff. But that comes all the way in way later. So, like, really, honestly, chill out. It's less of a race and more of a marathon.
Exactly.
Okay? Instead of treating it as a race, ki, oh my god, these board exams are all I need to do. That's not true. It's a marathon. You need to ace your exams starting from the first unit test you give in ninth grade. Pace yourself, go slow, and take it one test at a time. Otherwise, you will burn out.
Okay. And what about scholarships and financial aids? Yeah.
Okay, that's really the biggest question for a lot of
Yeah.
us. Yeah, because I ask so many people, why aren't you applying abroad? Oh, I can't afford
Yeah.
it.
I can't.
Okay, and
No reason.
see, not being able to afford it isn't an excuse anymore. Okay, because today we're living in a day and age where colleges will give you financial aid.
Exactly.
There are opportunities out there. Maybe not at maybe it's not Cornell, maybe it's not NYU, maybe it's not Dartmouth, maybe it's
Not.
DePaul University or
Yeah.
ASU or American University. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not gonna apply, you will never know.
Exactly.
Common App offers fee
Yeah.
waivers for everyone.
Yeah.
No questions asked. You get your counselor to approve it. You have fee waiver. You can no questions asked apply to 20 universities with a fee waiver.
Exactly.
Even MIT for that matter, you can apply.
Yeah. Exactly. They also have a few.
So then it begs the question really, why aren't you trying?
Yeah, that's a main.
Okay, so okay, anyone who has financial aid, and I've talked to a lot of them. In fact, this paper, this is from last night. I was consulting with this girl from Jeshri Parival School, and in Jaipur, and she needs full financial aid.
Most.
So we planned our application.
Yeah. Most.
We planned our application. Yeah, we planned out that way. We said, okay, we're not going to apply to UK. We'll apply to Canada, to universities there. We'll apply to a bunch of them in the US. We'll apply to Singapore, and we'll apply to
Yeah.
Japan and to Hong Kong, because these countries they might give you financial aid.
Exactly.
So that strategizing is important. I agree, but there's this. It's just a myth that you have to be rich to apply abroad. You have to be rich to go abroad. It's a myth.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how much Cornell is costing me. Apart from they're covering pretty much they're covering most things, right? They're covering housing, Roman board, tuition, they're covering insurance. All I have to pay is about 6 lakh rupees.
Okay.
That's just books, flights, personal expenses, and maybe a few unforeseen things here and there. At 6 lakhs. That's the estimate I've gotten.
Okay.
That's less than Jindal, less than Ashoka, less than most private unis in India, and it's less than my school fees.
Okay. And it's not only for like Cornell or Harvard. It's also for some other universities. I have a.
Of
Yeah,
course.
like my co-founder.
So when that,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. That strategizing, yeah, it has to come. You have to sit down with someone and talk about it.
Yeah.
If you have, especially if you have no outlook of the scene pehle se, it really helps you to sit down to someone who's been through that stage, that they've had financial aid, almost full by the way. They've applied abroad and they've applied to a variety of places. So you have to sit down with someone and just smooth it over. Sit for an hour, for 2 hours. Let's talk about your profile. Let's talk about who you are. Let's talk about what you want, and then we do it.
Yeah, and I think you also mentioned that you know Bengali. So, like, are you from Bengali background?
Hey, I'm
Okay.
Bengali. But it's my dad that's Bengali. So my dad's side, my grandmother used to live in Calcutta. Then she moved to Jaipur. So I was raised. matlab, My mom's from Rajasthan, from this place called Pila. She's near. It's a village called Chidava. It's near Junjunu or Pilani, if you know where
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
So my mom's from there, my dad's from Jaipur, but his side of the family is from Calcutta. So yes, we're technically Bengali. I mean, I'm half Bengali, sort of,
Yeah.
and I learned Bengali from my grandfather. Like during his last few years, he used to live with us, and so I learned the language to connect better with him. And then we used to talk in Bangla the whole time.
Okay.
So that's how I know.
Totally makes sense. Or did you know about Sahil Akhtar, who got into, yeah,
Hmm?
Sahil Akhtar, who got into MIT this year? Sahil Akhtar.
I'm not
Okay.
aware. Sahil,
Yeah,
right? Sahil
yeah,
Akhtar.
yeah,
Sahil Akhtar, yes. He also did the JEE,
yeah,
man. He's a smart guy.
yeah,
I think he ranked like a 99 in the JEE or
yeah.
something.
First rank in best Mongol JE and the normal JE 90. Yeah,
Yeah, 99. I saw him on LinkedIn. That guy, man.
yeah,
Honestly, the thing is, there's this little community of us Indians who have gotten into these top
exactly.
universities this year, and I feel like it's wonderful to be part of
That community.
look at it and you're like, wow, I am astounded by so many of these guys. Harvard wale, Princeton wale, MIT wale. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
these are like
Okay.
crazy,
Yeah, yeah. Like I
crazy.
also noticed, like there is a separate community where students who got into those universities or some want to got into, so like have dreams. So yeah, this community is
Just
amazing.
itself.
Yeah, this circle is amazing, and I connected most of the like students. I also interviewed Sahil Akhtar, and like personally he is great, and like I also after interview I also discussed some thoughts about like coaching centers and other stuff. So he's great, amazing. His thoughts.
I'm here. Sahil is wonderful. There's another guy, in fact, like him, who did the JEE and MIT. Chirag Falor,
Yeah,
if you know him.
most famous one. Like he is the, you can say that inspiration for most of the students who want to get into MIT. Like he is the inspiration. Why they like choose? Okay, I have to get into. I have a dream.
Absolute mad lad, that
Yeah,
guy. Absolute mad
yeah,
lad. I say Chirag Falor, Shaurya Sinha. These are names that us Indian students have, been looking up to. They're like the holy
yeah,
grail. And in fact, so there's nothing that I dream of more than becoming one of those names.
exactly.
Right? So I really wish that one day when people, when there's ninth graders, 11th graders applying abroad, they say, okay, अरे यार वो चिराग है ना, वो शौर्य है ना, यश मोत्रा है ना, ऐसा बनना है.
Yeah,
That's kind of dream that I
yeah.
have.
I think it just take few months. I think because
Yeah.
you are doing great work, and like also started that journey in 2000. You can say that 19 or 20. I started from you can say that Telegram. So I created a Telegram group where I'm helping students. Like I just put my whole number, contact details. Just contact me if you want to get any help in college application. So I received tons of messages and calls. Then I realized that it's a huge, you can say that like community or student want to get into, but there is no particular like helping hands. So I started non-profit. Then in these 3 years I'm just helping them, and like as like you, I also doing one-on-one session, but my sessions is little bit short, like only 20 minutes or 25 or 30 minutes. So it's great. So there are two communities, I can say that. One is big consultancies who is charging millions, or you like big companies, and the other one is our community where we are like helping students each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's been my focus all this time because if okay, there's this girl from the south that I worked with. She told me how much she needs financial aid,
Exactly.
and yeah. So yeah, I was telling you, there's this one girl that I met. I had a session with her, And she told me she really needs financial aid, and her family probably can't afford a lot of things. And I didn't charge anything from her. I told her, yeah, if you feel like you can pay, then go ahead. If you don't think you can pay, then there's no
Yeah,
compulsion.
exactly.
With most of my kids, I say, pay whatever you want, whatever you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know that if I was there, for example, I wouldn't be able to give someone more than, let's say, 500 rupees for a session, right?
Yeah,
But then there are kids who have that kind of money and who send 3,000 for one session. I'm like, "Oh, thank you, that's nice of you."
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's great and fantastic. I also try to do the same thing, but I always non-profit. Like I didn't say that, but I think yeah, it's a good idea because like I connected with the students who are joined 1 lakh or 2 lakh coaching centers, or they are paying them.
Oh,
So yeah, so that's the reason. So I just try to do everything is non-profit. And yeah, what about like we clear everything and any suggestions or tips, techniques? I think for students.
यार एक तो बहुत बड़ा टिप है, थोड़ा सा make sure to stay detached from the whole process.
Exactly.
Stay to मतलब यार I'm telling you, एक तो never have a dream school.
Yeah.
That's my first piece of advice. Never ever have a dream school.
Exactly. Yeah.
तुम्हारा कटेगा.
Yeah. Exactly. Obviously. Obviously.
Throughout the whole process, remember to एक तो take care of yourself, because people get so stuck up in this cycle. They stop eating or they don't take care of themselves. Take care of your mental health. Have water. Sleep properly. I mean, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Sleep properly. Have
Yeah.
food on time. But just go touch grass.
Yeah.
Touch grass. But just remember to take care and enjoy these years. Okay?
Okay.
Applying to college is just cool. You study reasonably well. That doesn't require too much time. Unless you're trying to top the JEE, you don't need to study for 8 hours a day.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Study reasonably well. Don't overexert yourself. You don't have to. Study reasonably well and have an impact. Do extracurriculars, as people like to call it. But that doesn't mean that you will never have the time to enjoy. ठीक है? Be ready कि यार, today if a friend calls you right now, it's raining cats and dogs outside. If a friend calls me right now, says, Yash bro, गेड़ी मारनी है,
Yeah.
I'd say yes, go.
Let's go. Just
Have that opportunity. Be ready to have fun
exactly.
and live. Okay? That's all the advice that I have. In case you guys want anything else, feel free to reach out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me anywhere. In
Yeah,
fact,
I will.
on
I will put.
Instagram,
Yeah, I
LinkedIn.
will put your Instagram, LinkedIn, everything in the description. And like you are the first one who give that like advice. I connected with many students who got into MIT, Stanford, but they are just suggesting study early as possible. Just like write your whole story, but they are not covering the main points. Yeah.
I have Krishna. I have so many friends who did this whole, thing that's stressing out. Start early. ये भी करेंगे, ये भी करेंगे, ये भी करेंगे. सब कुछ we'll do everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out.
Exactly.
You will end up heartbroken because in the application, what they're looking for is a person.
Exactly.
They're not looking for a robot or a piece of paper,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? And if you can genuinely show them that you're someone who lives, laughs, loves, that's going to help you.
एग्जैक्टली मेरे हिसाब से भी लाइक जिंदगी लाइक जिंदगी जीते जीते आप सब चीजें कर सकते हो लाइक डोंट जस्ट लाइक बर्न आउट इन द होल एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस लाइक इन द नाइट टाइम लाइक कल डेडलाइन है और आप 2-2 बजे तक लाइक ओनली लिख रहे हो सो या थोड़ा सा सोच समझ
वो तो मैंने भी किया है, बट इट्स लाइक
या
जिंदगी एक सफर है,
तो आना
यहाँ कल क्या हो
किसने
किसने
जाना या एग्जैक्टली सो डोंट स्ट्रेस अबाउट दैट लाइक उस टाइम पे आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो बट आफ्टर डूइंग दैट जस्ट फॉरगेट ओके आई राइटेड माय एसे okay I submitted now I have to do on another things not just stressing okay I just forget to add my that point or that thing so it will never works.
also if you can like have like something that brings you joy, like some sort of art that helps you. For me, it was writing poetry. For a lot of people, it's painting. Some people draw. Do something that helps you recharge and feel better. And something that hasn't got anything to do with like game, like, passing time. Not something that involves you, right? Art or music, anything. It really helps. It's a good de stress.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just do what you want and just enjoy the journey. It's not a race, it's a journey. So enjoy the journey. They have infinite ways to like chase your dreams. So I think it is the longest interview in the college application. You can say that like